next speaker is Mr. Valan, who's an undergraduate student at Tamil Nadu National Law University. His work is entitled Legal Education in India. Is the aim of Bar Council of India on legal education achieved? Over to you, Valan.
The respected chairperson of the online conference of teaching and learning in law, the moderator of this session, and other dignitaries of the conference. Good morning. Today, I am to present an article on legal education of India, whether the main objective of the Bar Council of India is achieved or not. Legal education being one of the mandates of the Bar Council of India, which was established by the Parliament by the Advocates Act of 1961. Section 7 of the Act gives a statutory obligation for the Bar Council of India to promote and lay down standards of legal education in India, for which the Bar Council of India has established a charitable trust named the Bar Council of India Trust during 1974. Further, the Bar Council of India Trust has established various law schools of excellence across India to promote legal education and research. Further, the state government of Karnataka has taken a maiden effort to enact the National Law School of India University Act in 1986 to carry out the objectives of the Bar Council of India effectively. Presently, there are 22 national law universities in various states of India. The objects of these premier institutions are to advance and disseminate learning and knowledge of law and legal processes and their role in national development, and to develop in the student and research scholars a sense of responsibility to serve the society in the field of law by developing skills regarding advocacy, legal services, litigation, and law reforms. In the present scenario, the national law universities have changed the face of legal education in India. In fact, the consortium of national law universities says India is the only country in the world which has special universities for legal discipline alone. For students, for joining these institutions, they have to sit for a common entrance, national level entrance test called Common Law Admission Test. And students are being selected for these universities based on merit cum preference. Now, I would like to quickly brief about the consortium of NLUs. The consortium of national law universities was established in 2017, which has similar aim of the Bar Council of India, that is, to improve legal standards in the country and judicial system through legal education. The consortium aspires to facilitate better coordination among the national law schools to achieve the highest standards of legal education in the country. The consortium became the legal entity when it was registered at Bangalore under the Karnataka Cooperative Society Act 2019, in which 16 national law universities was signed and became the member of the consortium. During 2019, around 47,000 candidates have appeared for the Common Law Admission Test examination against the intake of 2,984 seats. To explain the need of the study, I would like to explain the term social responsibility. Social responsibility is an ethical theory in which individuals are accountable for fulfilling their civil duty, and the actions of an individual must benefit the whole of the society. During an informal discussion with students of various national law universities in a national level moot court competition made me to understand that majority of the students are opting towards their career in multinational companies and corporate sectors, and very few of them are ambition towards litigation and other legal services. The social responsibility expected of them is largely missing. The slackness in the social responsibility among the students has to be studied thoroughly. Hence, the study attempts to understand the career options of the National Law University students and their reasons. Further, the study tries to understand other influencing factors that affects the career options of the students. Methodology of the study. The study uses a pluralistic methodology to study the career aspirations of the students of NLUs from the point of view of the Bar Council of India. The quantitative research methodology is used to study the career options and their reasons. On the other hand, the qualitative research technique is employed to study the other intervening factors that affect the career options. Questionnaire and case study methods were adopted to collect primary data for the study. The universe of the study covers all the final year students of 22 national law universities. Multi-stage random sampling technique was used to pick the samples from the universe. At the first stage, 5 national law universities were chosen at random. In the second stage, 10 students from the 5 national law universities that were chosen in the first stage was chosen at random. Finally, the total number of sample becomes 50. The primary data that analyzed has been presented in a three-way table. If you observe the table, the variables, career options and the reasons were compared with the CGPA score of the students. The entire sample has been divided into toppers and mediocre. Here, the students, those who have scored more than 8 CGPA, are considered as toppers, and those who have CGPA between 7 to 5 are deemed as mediocre for the study. If you compare the career options and the reasons, majority of them, that is 66.7%, opts for corporate companies and 22.2% of the sample wanted to join in private law firms. It infers that 88.9% of the toppers wanted to have their career in corporate companies and private law firms. Only a meager portion of the toppers, that is 7.4%, have a plan of venturing in litigation. On the other hand, almost half of the sample of the mediocre, that is 52.3%, have their career plans in alternate dispute resolution field. Among the mediocre also, only a small portion of them, that is 17.4%, are willing to work on litigation. And only one respondent opted to prepare for judicial services. The general impression of the final year students is that litigation and other government legal services are a long and challenging route to secure a successful career. Moreover, the younger generation wants everything in instant, including career. We can attribute the temperament of the student with the push and pull factors in the job market. On the other side, the CLAT coaching centers and online career guidance portal do influence the career options of the student. The online career guidance portals have their own ranking of national law universities based on the campus placements and the average salary package as indicated. Further, the CLAT coaching centers advertise the number of students crack the CLAT to join in these national law universities, which has greater job placement. To my shock, even the national law universities are advertising on their official website that their students are more marketable in the corporate sector. For example, National Law University Jodhpur claims that the university is being recognized as the market-facing law school in India by industrial experts. Further, NLU Jodhpur proclaims in their website that the pay packages offered by national law firms range between rupees 8 lakh to 16 lakh per annum, whereas the international law firms have offered packages between rupees 28 lakhs to 30 lakh per annum in the previous year. The pay packages of the corporate ranges between rupees 4.5 lakh to rupees 11 lakh per annum for the previous year. This is a complete contradiction to the object of establishment of the National Law University Jodhpur. The Section 4 of the National Law University Jodhpur Act 1999 reads, "The object of the university shall be to advance and disseminate learning and knowledge of the law and research, and with a view to ensure its proper role in national development, to develop in the student and research scholars a sense of responsibility to serve the society in the field of law." Therefore, the choice of career options of National Law University students alone cannot be criticized, as they are being influenced by the CLAT coaching centers, online career guidance portals, and even National Law universities as well. Next comes the issue of affordability. As mentioned earlier, securing a seat in National Law universities is highly competitive. The high competition has been materialized by the CLAT coaching centers in major towns, as the syllabus and the methodology of these entrance tests mandates an orientation for the NLU aspirants, for which the coaching centers have two streams of courses, namely the annual course and a crash course for 30 days. These coaching centers encourage the students for an annual course in order to ensure successful cracking of the entrance test, for which the students who afford to take even 1 year break in their academic stream and to meet out the expenses including food, stay, which is a costly academic venture. Most importantly, the majority of the students of NLU who have successfully cracked the entrance exam must have undergone at least a crash course in any one of the coaching centers. This involves a considerable amount of expenditure which a low middle class and a poor student cannot afford to crack the CLAT. Moreover, the common fee structure in NLUs varies from 1,50,000 to 2,50,000 rupees per annum. Therefore, a student of National Law University has to incur an expenditure of around 10 lakh rupees to avail an undergraduation degree, which is higher than the fee structure of other universities. Level playing is yet another issue with regard to CLAT. Currently, there are 5 school education boards in India, namely the Central Board of Secondary Education, the Council for the Indian School Certificate Examinations, International Baccalaureate, Cambridge Assessment International Education, and state boards. However, the CLAT is a common entrance test for all the students of 5 school education boards in India. Having a common entrance test for different school education board with different curriculum run against the principle of level play. Experience shows that the cost of education for these boards, except state board, is out of reach of the poor people. Hence, the chances of cracking CLAT for students who are hailing from state board syllabus is very remote because they have very limited syllabus with local relevance. Moreover, the level of difficulty of CLAT is increasing year by year, and there is no specific syllabus for this examination. So, I would like to propose some recommendations in the study. Number 1, the curriculum of UG and PG degree course has to be so designed to include the ethical theory of social responsibility with a view to serve the community that enshrined in the objective of the Bar Council of India. Number 2, there must be a career counseling cell in each university to facilitate the final year students to choose an appropriate career option by taking into the account of the social responsibility towards the community. Number 3, reservation of seats in NLUs for every school education boards. Number 4, more government funding for these NLUs so as to reduce the fee structure affordable to everyone. Number 5, there are 5 sections in CLAT examination, namely English, Mathematics, Logical Reasoning, Legal Aptitude, and General Knowledge. in which there is no specific syllabus for each section. Hence, there should be a specific syllabus for each section of the CLAT examination. Last but not the least, government-aided CLAT coaching centers may be established for the economically backward students. To conclude, the noble cause of improving the standards of legal education by the Bar Council of India is yet to attain its desirable changes in the minds of the students, for which the student community alone cannot be blamed, because the profit-making organizations such as CLAT coaching centers, online portals, and even NLUs are repeatedly inculcating the business propositions in the minds of the student. That is, if you invest more money in the preparation and pursuing a degree in top national law universities, would bring good career with high remuneration. Consequently, the ethical theory of social responsibility is no more in the priority of the student community. Hence, the Bar Council of India has to revisit its vision with a view to make necessary policy changes in national law universities in order to make the legal education intervention in India more inclusive and affordable. Thank you.
Thank you for your critical. Thank you for a critical presentation, Valan. If there are any questions for the speaker, can kindly let me know via chat box. If there are no questions, I'd have a small comment for the speaker. Reminds me of a quote by Marian Wright Edelman, who rightly notes that education is for improving the lives of others and for leaving your community and world better than you found it. I repeat, education is for improving the lives of others and for leaving your community and world better than you found it. So, a critical view of the national law universities that you presented indicate that there needs to be an imminent revamp of the intended object of establishing it at the first place. And it seems to me that the premier law schools somewhere is lost in the in its enacted objectives. So you've also critically flagged the issue of accessibility and affordability, which is also a major concern. Being in a national law university myself, I also share your concerns perfectly. At this juncture, it would be great if you can explain to us about the initiatives that are taken by Tamil Nadu National Law University in increasing the social connect between the society and the law school. If there are any schemes, if there are any initiatives that the law school takes so as to ensure that the law students are also made aware of their social responsibilities.
Yeah. Um, First of all, a very good morning, and thank you for the question, sir. And moving on to the question, I, being a student of Tamil Nadu National Law University, have observed, the university is yet to take a lot of measures in ensuring the social, to increase the social responsibility among the students of National Law University. Of course, there are faculties and there are a lot of, even students who will keep on encouraging other students for getting into the field of litigation, ADR, and other government legal services. But the university in particular hasn't, to my knowledge, hasn't, taken a lot of measures in ensuring, the critical comments that are established. For example, the university could, as I mentioned in my recommendation, the university can, take measures like including subjects related to the ethical theory of social responsibility and there should be an intact career counseling cell in each university to facilitate the final year students to choose an appropriate career options. And to add upon, the sample of my study includes Tamil Nadu National Law University final year students also. So yeah, I hope I have answered I have explained the question.
Yes, Valan, thank you so much.
Thank you,
As you
sir.
suggested, the curriculum of law degree has to be designed to include the ethical theory of social responsibility to serve the community as enshrined by the Bar Council of India. The suggestion is well taken. I believe more than the curriculum, the mindset and perspective of an individual has to change. The change within
Exactly,
us,
sir.
people call. That's where we start. Of course, it later matures to a whole lot of changes, including that of the curriculum. So, can you provide your comments on the same as well?
Exactly, sir. Well taken.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. When I would like to further emphasize on the second point of my recommendation. First, there should be a curriculum that that enforces or that creates a sense of social responsibility among the students. Number two, I've suggested a career counseling cell. As you said, the career counseling cell will further move on to inculcate the students a sense of social responsibility that will orient a student in the first place to get into the arena to serve the community.
Thank you so much, Valan. If there are any more questions for the speaker, you can kindly let me know. Since there are no more questions, we'll wind up the session here. And I'd like to thank the speakers, both the speakers, for your wonderful presentation. The need to revisit the education model, both in the undergraduate level and the master's level, was succinctly captured by both of you. Thank you so much for your critical presentations. And thank you, participants, for your patient hearing. Due to the non-availability of one of the participants, we are closing early. Nevertheless, I request all of you to stay connected. The next session, Women in Law, will continue on the same platform, while the other parallel session titled Pedagogy will continue on link B. Thanks again for your present. Thanks again for your participation. Stay connected. Goodbye.